Philippe, a 3-1 win for your team today. What do you make overall of the game?
Yeah, it's very satisfying to see the way we played, because Hips have a good team. They were in a good run also in the league after they made good transfers in the January window. And we played a dominant game. We were in control of all the game. It's a pity to get a goal against in the only shot on target that we get against today. But the reaction was again very good, and that's been our strength. So a lot of positive things today for me. The way we played football, the way we created chances, the way we scored the 3 goals or 4. But we were unlucky that apparently the boots of Scott are a little bit too big. And I'm also really happy that before the game, you need to make the puzzle with players coming back. With who do you start? Who do you want to come in to get minutes, to get rhythm? And all scenario fitted today. That's also not always the case. And everybody came in also in a good way, giving the right energy to the team and doing the right things. So it's also important for us that we have already for months that everybody knows what to do in his position or even in another position. Like Dujon played the first time left fullback today with me. And to do the right things for the team, and you see this solidarity, this hunger and this desire to do the right things. And then with good performances, the results come. It works like that.
Sorry, you say that the reaction to their goal is your strength. You feel that just epitomises your team's mentality at the moment. You know, you think you go ahead, goal gets chopped off, score 2 minutes later. You can see just before half-time, you go straight up the other end and score again.
Yes, because we have the desire to be on top of the game all the time. And then enough moments come. We could have scored 5-6 today. So it's about keeping this determination, the belief in yourself, the believe in your teammates, and not starting to doubt or to fear or whatever. So I had a job in my first months here to get this mentality into the heads. I don't have, for the moment, any job about that anymore, because they know, they experience together, and that's a very important thing. It's a strength. I told you guys a couple of months ago, in my time as a player, the best teams I played in were teams where we played together 2-3 years, because we had experiences together, winning experiences, losing experiences, and like this, we were growing, we were becoming better. So this team has this experience also, but in a really short term, in only 5 months together, and they react in a good way. So I'm proud about that.
On Friday you said that you'd a number of players be in the squad that you thought could go for 15-20 minutes. You made quite extensive use of the substitutions today. With a full week's training ahead, are you looking to have a great deal of depth to choose from for next week?
Yes, that was already today. Yeah. So, for example, Kemar, Roof and Kieran Dahl were not in the selection. And they were doing a good job in the training, and Kieran is unlucky in that way. And Kemar also, that they're not ready after injuries to play 90 minutes, so I had to make a balance in that. You cannot have half the team in the selection who cannot play 90 minutes for the moment. So we need to take all these things into account for the moment, and then you have a few scenarios in your head, what you need to do, and making decisions around that. So, no, it's very important to have depth in the squad, not only for the games, but also for the trainings. The level was really high this week in training, with the guys coming back with their qualities, and this level will rise next couple of weeks, because they will be more fit and better, and there will be more competition in the team for spots also.
Philippe, I think that's 12 goals in 14 starts that Cyril has since you came to the club in the league. How impressed have you been with how he's grown over that time?
Impressed is not a good word. I think it's normal what he can do, and I think there's still quite some margin to make with him, and he's working really hard on that. But for me, and I said this already a few times, and I know you guys don't believe that, maybe, but for me, the striker is not only important that he score goals. They need to do much more other things also for the team. And then they will come in situations that they can score goals. But for me, it's important to have a team where everybody can score, because that's much more difficult to stop. If you have a team with one guy scoring all the goals and they stop him, the story is finished. We score from everywhere. With the strikers, with the wingers, with the midfielders, with the fullbacks, with the centre backs. Only Jack is the only one not scoring. And I want to see football like that, because then it's much more difficult to stop.
Philippe, I know you don't like to single out individual players, but today James Tavernier became the highest scoring defender in British football history. It's an incredible achievement from him.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing achievement also because he still have a couple of years to go. So he can only make this record bigger and bigger. And if you speak about all history of football, you cannot imagine how many good defenders and how many defenders with a lot of attacking qualities have played the game. So to be there on top, yeah, it's an amazing achievement, and we're all proud of him. I said it in the dressing room also after the game. I don't point out too much individual players. I don't like it too much, but I had to do it this time. And all the players are really proud of him. All staff also, and all fans, and everybody in the board, and everybody involved with Rangers, because it's really quite exceptional.
Philippe, the next game is obviously Celtic. How ready do you think this team is for that game? How confident are you can go and win it?
I'm confident we can win against everybody. Are we at our best now? No. We had all the injuries, and some players are not yet there at their best shape. But I also know that we can win that game, that we have the quality to do that. And it's also not the decisive ending game of the season. We still have 8 games to go. So I'm focused on the next one again, and after it's going to be on the next one again. And that's the mentality of my players, and they understand that's the way, and we're only focused on one thing, and that's performance. If they perform well, then we have a big chance to get a result. And sometimes it doesn't fall your way, like we had against Motherwell. That can happen also, although the performance was there. And we will keep on pushing until the end in all these 8 games, and in the hopefully also 2 games in the Cup.
Philippe, the first hour or so felt a little bit end-to-end with lots of transitions. Is that to be expected with Hibs, with their quality up front, and were you happy with how the team coped with it?
Yeah, of course, because Hibs has this quality. They have a lot of pace. They have good technical players. We get a goal against in that way. I was not happy with that. We could have done things different and better, what we talked about in halftime, and then second half, they didn't have one really chance anymore in these transitions. So that's a huge achievement against a team who scored 3rd most goals in the league. But that's also important. We want to play dominant football, we want to create chances, we want to score a lot of goals, what we are doing, but we want to keep our structure and not giving away chances or goals, and keeping that balance. That's really important to win games.
Philippe, you've talked about mentality a few times there. Does what's happened to James today sum up the mentality they're scored at the moment? He obviously misses the penalty kick, but within a couple of minutes he puts just about all his strength behind his volley to score, and he scored today.
Yes, of course, and he's not the only one. All team is now in that mindset that the past is finished and it's just about the next action every time, and to keep your belief, your desire, your hunger in yourself and in your teammates in that way. And we come back out of a lot of situations already the last couple of months, so it's good that this mindset is now in all squad like that.
Philippe, 2 parts to this. You asked for the fans to step up yesterday. In the last 10 minutes at 2-1, they really stepped up and helped the team get the 3rd goal, and also that's Rangers now scored 101 goals this season. Maybe a wee carry on to what you said before about goals coming from everywhere, but that's quite an achievement with still hopefully 10 games to go, including the cups.
Yes, it's an achievement, and we're working hard on that to point out I can do it now because I did it in the dressing room also. I don't do it too much with individual players, but this is more an individual collective thing. I'm also really happy with the goal of Rabbi today, because for me it was of his biggest working points, to keep controlling his shots. In the past I saw him missing too many chances, that he was shooting wild and not putting this ball in control in the corner, and he's been working hard with all staff on that last couple of months, and I see more and more goals like that in the training and also in the games now. It's an individual thing towards Rabbi, but it's also a collective thing, because everybody's working really hard on their working points also in all squad. And like this, there is still a lot of margin to grow with this squad, not only physically but also technically, and doing the right things at the right moments. And I keep a really close eye on who are the ambitious guys who want to do it every day, who wants to do something after training extra to become better, because that shows ambition.